Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grustis, the Cycling Greek, and day 5, no, day 5 was the rest day, day 6 of the X Block. It's brisk out here, chilly brisk, but it should be warming up to 63. It's about 40, 41 right now. I'm going to meet a couple of my teammates, and this is going to be more steady pacing climbing. Should be getting in about 4,000, 4,500 feet of climbing today, as long as the snow is melted up there. Okay, let's get started. Okay, there's 3 of us today. Remember, doing a lot of climbing. About 4,500 feet. And with these guys, it's going to be not endurance, but it's going to be tempo plus for me, hanging on their wheels. Let's have some fun.
Judging by my ride to the start, I was feeling much better than I thought I'd be feeling today. Not wanting to waste any pedal strokes, whenever I took a pull, I took it at steady state intensity, then recovered when back in the pace line while my teammates are pretty much doing the same thing. Doing this promoted repeatability at this intensity. It was as if we were in a chase group working together at the top of our efforts in order to connect with the leaders. As hard as this was on the flats, it was even tougher on the stepped climb. While we did this for 22 miles, which took us to the base of the 4-lane grade, this gave me an idea for a team workout we could do on that subsequent 8-mile climb.
Man, it's nice. Let me tell you, it is nice not being dressed like an Eskimo. Look at these white legs. No, your legs are never white.
I've grown hair.
Yeah, I've seen earlier in this video where we were doing kind of a race simulation. The guy in the front is going pretty hard, and then they recover a bit after they go to the back. And being on the flats, it was a lot easier to recover. Now, when we were starting to climb on that step, to climb to get where we are, we're at about 1,500 feet. We're going to be climbing to 4,200 feet. Recovery at the back was harder to come by. The workout we're going to be doing here is another team workout. I had a subscriber from El Paso, Texas, ask about workouts that he can do with his team. And so I got one on day 4 and I have another one today. The workout we're about to do formalizes what we did earlier in this video. We only have 2 people doing it. Our third had to turn back and get to work. So you can do this with 2, 3, or 4. As you increase the number of people, you decrease the amount of time at the front. So since there's 2 of us, we're going to have 5-minute intervals. The person at the front is going to go 5 minutes, about threshold, zone 4. Maybe zone 3.5, which is steady state, but definitely not lower than that. Get to the back, the other person goes in the front, does threshold. They're going to be at the back, recovering as best they can. Now, since we're going uphill, the recovery is going to be tougher. While they were doing threshold in the front, they're going to be doing tempo in the back. Let's get started.
I had a lot of energy for this workout. We set a good time going up the climb. But this wore me out. At the top, the colonel went to get some water and I went down a 0.7-mile wall in order to do sprints coming back up it. My legs were so reamed that the first 2 sprints only lasted 5 seconds. The rest of them didn't fare much better. On the way back home, the headwinds started. Once we separated, I still had another 20 miles in those winds. I was able to do a 20-minute effort toward the end of the ride, but when I got in, I was done.
You push it pretty hard those last 30 seconds on the intervals.
God. I think we went under 53 minutes for this entire climb. So you notice that the colonel here was not as recovered as I was. So we modified it a little bit where he still held a good, comfortable pace in the front when he's in the front, but his interval was on my wheel when I was doing my interval.
Yes.
And for my subscriber in Plano, Texas, where it's flat as a pancake over there, you can do the same thing except on the flats. If you have any rollers there, that's good too. You can hold a good steady pace for 5 minutes each. That's great, but you can experiment with cutting down the interval time. I'm going down this 0.7-mile wall and do some wall sprints on the way up.
Yikes.
If I say that now, we'll see what the sprints look like when I do it. That workout wore me out. Those wall sprints, they sucked, but I completed them anyway. And then when I got into the final, about mile 90, I did my 20-minute interval. It was good enough. It was good enough. Definitely got the job done. Well, you've got to see another team workout today. And you can do this with your teams. So I'm tired, I'm going inside. Remember, comment, like, subscribe. Yasus Pidakimo, the Cycling Greek.